Hello, you're watching New Vision TV News with me, Ruth, in a broadcast from the New Vision newsroom. We'll take a look at the news around Uganda, around East Africa, around the world. And later in this bulletin, we'll take a look at our Daily Pile of Africa series and also a special report. We'll start off with the news around Uganda. From Butambala district, students and staff of Kagure Church of Uganda Secondary School in Kabasanda sub-county are yet to come to terms with the fire that gutted the girls' dormitory. Property worth millions was destroyed, with some girls losing books a few weeks to mock examinations. The fire started at around 10:40 a.m. when all students were in class. Teachers and residents were alerted by a cloud of thick smoke that was coming out of the girls' dormitory, housing about 36 students. A combined team of residents and the police put the fire out, but students' property like books, mattresses, suitcases, clothes had been destroyed by fire. Moving on to Kamule district, fish farmers on Lake Nabigaga will soon double their catch after the Turkish embassy's commitment to finance cage fishing. The fish project was commissioned by the Speaker of Parliament, Rebecca Alito Kadaga, who is also Kamule woman member of Parliament. At the commissioning, Kadaga received the Turkish ambassador to Uganda, Karem Alp, at Parliament, who unveiled the plan to support the venture targeting farmers on Lake Nabigaga. Karem and his team have surveyed the lake and interacted with the fish farmers. Lake Nabigaga is located in the northwest of Kamuli district. It is attached to the western side of River Nile, about 45 kilometers from the defacant Namasagali Harbour. News from Gulu district. Gulu Municipality Mayor George Labeja this afternoon commissioned 8 boreholes to help school-going children and surrounding neighbors. Gulu district and the rest of northern Uganda suffer from severe water shortage during the dry season. So these boreholes, according to Labeja, will help pupils access clean water.
Commissioned these projects, which our sister gave to us, borehole, to help our people in these schools. Indeed, this school has suffered a lot. We always tried our level-based as council to support them. As I talk, we have given two blocks of toilets, which all of them are going to be used with water bond. But the problem, where are they going to get the water? There is no water.
St. Peter's Primary School in Lara Division, which has over 1,200 pupils, has always descended into the neighboring villages to look for safe water. The teacher of Christ Church Primary School, Alinga Christine Ositi, says 645 pupils in her school have been drinking unsafe tap water from unreliable sources. The boreholes, constructed with the help from the local organization Drop in the Bucket, will support pupils, patients and the community members. News coming in from Bujili district. Local government has received 1.3 billion shillings for fixing bad spots along access roads heading to areas with high food production. The district agriculture officer, Peter Damzungu, said majority of farmers find it hard to transport their produce for sale to the nearby markets due to the poor state of roads. Damzungu said sub-county leaders and technical personnel have been instructed to identify various bad spots that need urgent attention and list them for repair. Coming in from Napak district, Journey of Hope workers have completed the 467-kilometer journey from Kampala to Karamoja. The group that started their journey 3 weeks ago was ushered in Napak district by Kado Kretea Brass Band. A groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of a classroom block at Lamaratoit Primary School was held shortly after the workers arrived. The school is a beneficiary of the school's North Streets campaign by Drilling Places, a Christian NGO. The Journey of Hope Walk, now in its 3rd edition, is a biennial initiative that aims at raising awareness about the plight of street-connected children, most of whom come from Karamoja. In Kotido district, about 150 women in Karamoja have been trained in the making of environmentally friendly, energy-saving charcoal briquettes. Kotido and Moroto municipalities, as well as Kabong Town Council, benefited from the training funded by the Ministry of Water and Environment. The women say the briquettes will help them conserve the environment, which is being threatened by deforestation. A report coming in from Otuke district. Findings from a surgical camp going on in Otuke have revealed that many men have hydrocele complications. Dr. Glenn Gelhod, the mission head, explained that hydrocele is a type of swelling in the scrotum that occurs when fluid collects in the thin sheath surrounding the testicle. Hydrocele is common in newborn boys and usually disappears without treatment when they are 1 year old. Older boys and adult men can develop a hydrocele due to inflammation or injury within the scrotum. Dr. Gelhod said several have been operated and others lined up for operation. The camp is organized by Human Africa Mission, a Lira-based non-government organization in collaboration with Otuke District local government.
One of our themes, I think you see on the card, is the furthest peoples first. We didn't design these to go to Kampala. They don't need them in Malago. They aren't Makerere University material. They are the ones that go where people can't get access to Makerere or Malago or Entebbe or Lira even. These are for people who are largely neglected because they are inaccessible. What I mean by accessibility is it's remote geographically, yes. Maybe they don't even speak the same language. I know they don't speak Uganda, so they can't go to Kampala and talk there. But most overwhelmingly, it's economic. They can't afford to go there. They have no family there to support them. They have no one to care for them. And they can't afford the transport to get them there.
Closing off the news around Uganda is a story from Jinja district. The government has proposed the registration of all domestic animals in the country and issuing them with birth certificates. This was revealed by the Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Vincent Sempija, during the opening of the Nile National Agriculture Show in Jinja. He explained the registration and issuance of birth certificates is in accordance with international market requirements for animal products. Every domestic animal will be allocated a serial number and every birth recorded and certificate given. The animals targeted include cattle, sheep, goats, and pigs. We now move on to news around the East African region. We started from Tanzania. Tanzania's economy expanded 5.2% in 2018, the World Bank said today. The second major report this year from the multilateral financial institution, contradicting gross-year government figures. Tanzania's finance minister had told Parliament last month that growth was 7% last year. In a report, the World Bank, which makes its calculations based on state data, also forecasts 2019 growth at 5.4%, again lower than the government's estimate of 7.1%. Last year's growth was affected by a decline in investment, exports, and private lending, the report said. In neighboring Kenya, a new study has revealed that Kenyans form the largest number of social media consumers in Africa. The study, dubbed Social Media Consumption in Kenya, was conducted as a joint partnership between the United States International University, Africa, and the U.S. Embassy. Professor Paul Zeleza, the Vice Chancellor at United States International University, Africa, at the launch noted that social media has become an increasingly available platform to young people who are using it to create jobs in the digital space. Closing off the news around East Africa is a story from South Sudan. The head of the Egyptian intelligence service, Abbas Kamel, made a brief visit to South Sudan on Wednesday. He reportedly met South Sudan's leader, Salva Kiir, and conveyed a message from the Egyptian president, Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. The Egyptian official also met his South Sudanese counterpart on means of enhancing bilateral relations within the security sector. In news around the world from Ethiopia, an Ethiopian political party pushing for a creation of a breakaway region said Thursday it was prepared to go along with new plans for a referendum announced by electoral officials. Leaders of the Sidama ethnic group in southern Ethiopia had planned to unilaterally declare their own federal state on Thursday, a move analysts warned could inflame Ethiopia's political crisis and lead to bloodshed. At present, Ethiopia is partitioned into 9 semi-autonomous regions. The constitution requires the government to organize a referendum for any ethnic group that wants to form a new entity within a year of them requesting it. The Sidama have agitated for years to leave the diverse southern nations, nationalities and peoples region of which they are part and create their own state. News coming in from the United States. Popular Russian best application Face App, which allows users to change their appearance to look older or younger, came under fire in the United States Wednesday, with one center arguing an FBI investigation. Center Minority Leader Chuck Schumer called for the FBI and the FTC, the U.S. Consumer Protection Body, to look into the national security and privacy risks connected to Face App, which is used by millions of Americans but was also developed by a St. Petersburg-based company. In Japan, a suspected arson attack on an animation production company in Japan killed 13 people and injured dozens more on Thursday, with flames getting the building in the city of Kyoto. Police say the fierce blaze appeared to have been started deliberately, but there was no immediate information on a possible motive. There were fears the toll could rise further, with officials saying they believed several more people had failed to escape the fire. Closing off the news around the world is a story from Australia. Instagram started hiding likes on its platform in Australia, Brazil, and several other markets Thursday, saying it wanted to ease pressure on users following criticism about its impacts on mental health. The Facebook-owned social media giants tried changes. Main users in the 6 countries will no longer be able to use the number of likes other people's posts receive. Instagram described the hiding of the likes for the users as a test. No deadline was given for when it would end. That is all we had for you in the news around the world. We now take a short break, but when we come back, we shall take a look at the news in business.